Russia, the largest country in the world in terms of landmass, with a distinct culture, religion, and influence. It's almost hard to believe that almost 30 years ago, Russia was the Soviet Union, a communist state that was dissolved in 1991, which as a result led to German reunification, the fall of the Iron Curtain, and the end of the Cold War. To understand how the Soviet Union became to be, let's talk about the House of Romanov. The House of Romanov was the royal family that ruled Russia for almost 300 years. With the establishment of serfdom, the lack of an educated population, and the divide of social classes, the Romanovs controlled Russia with an iron fist. However, in an ever-industrialized world, the Romanovs faced the problem that many of their European counterparts had faced: the threat of revolution. In 1881, Tsar Alexander II was assassinated by a revolutionary group known as the People's Will Group. Though not communist, their actions caused a chain reaction within the Romanov family, which in return caused Alexander III and even his grandson, Nicholas II, to become more wary of revolutionaries and reformists. After his father's assassination, Alexander III ruled Russia, but he later died just 14 years into his reign due to kidney disease at the age of 49. So naturally, Nicholas became Tsar of Russia at a young age of 26. The problem with Nicholas, however, is that he was inexperienced and lacked the knowledge to rule Russia. During his reign, the Russo-Japanese War occurred. This was his first chance to prove that he could be a force to be reckoned with. Long story short, the war ended horribly. After the end of the war, there was protests outside the Tsar Winter Palace demanding fair wages and better working environments. Though the protests were relatively peaceful, the Tsar sent imperial guards comprised of Cossacks and attacked the protesters. The event became known as Bloody Sunday. After the public found out what the Tsar did to the protesters, they were pretty much done with the Tsar and the aristocracy that came along with it. This was especially true during World War I, as Russia wasn't ready to fight a war against the Central Powers. Nicholas took control of the military, even though he lacked military experience. During the war, the royal family was visited by a strange man named Rasputin to supposedly heal one of Nicholas's children. Whether he was mystical or not is irrelevant to the video. He was later assassinated in the fear that he was a German spy, further delegitimizing the royal family. After much discontent from the public, Nicholas II voluntarily abstained from his position as Tsar, effectively ending the monarchy and 300 years of Romanov rule. So to sum it all up, Russia at this point has no head of state, still fighting in World War I, and on top of that, two opposing factions, the Bolsheviks and the White Army, were competing for control of Russia. So how did Russia get out of this mess? Well, stay tuned for part 2 to find out how the Bolsheviks took control of the party and the country as a whole. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay tuned for more.